That's Westmore and Shorty. It's the Westmore and Shorty show. Westmore been knowing me since the criminalization of poverty when he came here with Karen York. I went to Columbia University and attended an event with Robin Hood. I'm an activist in Baltimore, and that's my mentor. And we talking about a day of service. And I've been serving my community and serving my country for a very, very long time. February the 2nd, 2011, I applied for Martin Luther King's job. Y'all locked me up. I also showed you that Dred Scott exists. Blacks have no rights in which white America respects. They say if you want to hide something, hide it in a book. I hide it in a book and I put it on social media. Social media for social change. That's a Shorty documentary. That's Westmore, Shorty documentary. That's Baltimore Sun, Brent Jones, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, Fox 45, BBC World, iReport, and MSNBC. That's the FCC, because y'all got violations. The Waukegan New Sun knowingly lied to the public in 2007. 2007 and 2008. Y'all called me a terrorist. I'm an activist, and my activism is about the war on drugs, the new face of old Jim Crow. You got 100 days in office. You've been knowing me for the longest. You've been knowing me since 2006 when I started this. Frank Boston and you as friends. Frank Boston is the FOP lawyer. For the last 100 days, you've been setting yourself up to protect Jim Crow, to reincarcerate, to re-enslave the black community. Racism don't work without black cooperation. Now, you can go to Mark Steiner and get this, all right? Social media for social change, postal violations. You got postal violations. Shorty, pull your mask up. Y'all never paid me for that. Y'all owe me for that. Y'all owe me $250 million for intellectual property theft. I was making a documentary about Baltimore's Democratic Party, Governor O'Malley's mom machine. That's my visitor's pass. We're going to talk about Welch's mother's retirement party, when Sheila Dixon called y'all a dirty dozen. That's $250 million right there. That's black gold. That's Texas tea. That's the American prison industry. Like I said, it's roll call. I applied for Martin Luther King's job. We keeping the dream alive. You feel me? We keeping the dream alive. We're going to show you the new face of old Jim Crow, why Martin Luther King died. He died for public accommodations, for us to use the courts, to access the courts, to use the bathroom, to drink out the water fountain. White water don't taste no different than black water. All right? Like I said, this is about your town hall and your public service announcement. That's Mark Steiner and WEEA Radio. You see that? So, Dr. K, this pertains to you. Roll call. See that? Mayor Brandon Scott. Senator Ben Cardin. Attorney General Anthony Brown. Judge Carrion. Izzy Pataki, Baltimore County Council. Ivan Bates, that's you. 100 days of service. No, you've been putting up new Jim Crow laws. You're trying to bring back mass incarceration. You got evidence and knowledge of criminal activity, and you're an officer of the court, and you're supposed to act on that information. The movie's about you and how you don't defend us. Postal violations. United States Postal Service. I'm getting ready to file a criminal complaint against y'all. Y'all running a criminal enterprise. That's States Attorney Mosby. Mosby, Bernstein, Jessamy, Sheila Dixon. Yeah, everything from Mayor O'Malley to Governor O'Malley. Since he's been in office, you created a machine, and I'm getting ready to tear that machine apart. That's Natasha DeCurry from the Public Defender's Office. All right? Y'all got to produce this mail. Y'all don't produce the mail, that means you committed mail fraud. Delegate Sheila Roof is going to testify. She was an activist. She's going to tell you about my activism. That's Eric Barron of the Department of Justice. Patrick Fitzgerald, Eric Barron, Loretta Lynch. Yeah. Y'all got to get that information up. Robert Hur. I got a case file with the Department of Justice, the Secret Service, the FBI. Yeah. Just like Martin Luther King. Y'all got a file on me. I'm going to show you that file. No, I'm going to make them show you the file. Governor Larry Hogan had me taken off the ballot in 2014 and in 2022. That's voter suppression by the Democratic and the Republican Party. Because y'all had knowledge of that. That's Chief Justice Mary Barbera. City, county, state, and federal levels. Judge Barbera, Judge Bell, Judge Souter, Judge Janae, Judge Papaya, and Chief Justice Roberts of the Supreme Court. Chief Justice Roberts of the Supreme Court. You see that? Chief Justice Roberts of the Supreme Court. 11950 Falls Road. Davis versus Illinois. Dred Scott. That's Judge Barbera. That's States Attorney Ivan Bates. If I can't get access to the court, that means you're using your position of power to protect your corruption. That's Peter Francott. We're going to show you the money you make off of black bodies. Slavery in the 21st century. That's President Biden and the Department of Justice. President Biden, President Obama, President Bush, and President Trump. Letters to my presidents. That's Delegate Stephanie Smith. She got this book. This book got everything in it. This book got what I need. Right here. Chief Justice Roberts of the Supreme Court. Chief Justice Roberts. 2013. Making a documentary about the courts and the criminality in the courts. That's Delegate Stephanie Smith. She got that book. Bill Ferguson, you got it. Governor Westmore, you got it. Adrian Jones, you got it. Caitlin, you got it. And you with the judiciary. And right now you got problems with the courts. So I think you need to produce this material. That's not a good look for you. That's Mayor Brandon Scott. Shorty, pull your mask up. Produce this mail, Mayor Brandon Scott. Baltimore City Council. City, county, state, and federal levels. You never paid me for that. You can't use your position of power to protect Governor O'Malley and his mob machine. You can't use your position of power. You'll end up in jail. And you're going to have to prosecute him. That's Xavier Conway, because I filed my paperwork with the court. That's Jared Jimenez from the Board of Elections. Like I said, voter suppression. You got this. Your first 100 days in office, you've been shielding this corruption. You feel me? You've been shielding this corruption. It's art and activism, the art of protest. Baltimore's Black Art District. And I'm telling you about our black leadership. That's the Maryland Black Caucus. Y'all open for business? Because I'm getting ready to open you up. Do blacks have rights in which white America respects? Racism don't work without black cooperation. You feel me? Ask him. The new face of old Jim Crow.